They revealed that 2022 is expected to have the largest number of available visas ever. So let's hear what Charlie has to say. Hi, this is Moumita Rahman, the immigration lawyer, here to help you navigate this complex world of immigration. Today, we're going to talk about the April 2021 Visa Bulletin and some important movement in the numbers and what it might mean for your case. Over the past few months, the Visa Bulletin has shown significant movement in the EB1 category, and it looks like that this trend is continuing this month. There is also some movement in the family-based categories, which we will discuss shortly. Stay tuned for details, and we will take a look at the final action dates and the filing dates for both groups of categories in both the employment and family-based categories. We also have some exciting news. For the first time ever, the Department of State has started a live stream with Charlie Oppenheimer, who is the Chief of Visa Control, and he will be answering questions live about the monthly Visa Bulletin. They even held their first one last week on March 17th, and they revealed that 2022 is forecasted to have the highest number of visas ever. So stay tuned to get answers to some of your biggest Visa Bulletin questions and to hear what other updates that they have for you. Please make sure to like this video so others on YouTube can also get a chance to see this video, and make sure to subscribe to my channel if you haven't already done so. So let's move on to the Visa Bulletin. The Visa Bulletin is essentially the weighting chart that predicts how long somebody who has filed an I-130 or an I-140 might have to wait before their case is ready to be processed for an interview at the consulate in their home country. There are actually two separate charts for the I-130 and for the I-140 itself. In each of these categories, there will also be breakdowns of multiple types of visas that are available within both the family and employment-based categories. Because there are annual limits on how many visas can be issued in any given year, certain categories become oversubscribed because there are many applicants for that visa category than there are visas that the US government is able to give out. Moreover, certain countries have a longer wait time because in those countries, such as China, India, and Mexico, there are many more applicants than our visas are available. So persons must basically wait in line in order to wait to see when their priority date is current and then get in line for an interview. And to remind you, your priority date is going to be the date that your I-130 or your I-140 has been filed. This is a very simplified explanation of how the Visa Bulletin itself works. And for more information, make sure you click on the link below. Okay, so let's go ahead and jump to the April Bulletin. The April Visa Bulletin was released surprisingly early this year, which is a welcome departure from what was happening underneath the Trump administration, where they were essentially waiting until very late on in the month to release the Visa Bulletin. It is predicted that from now on, we will go ahead and continue to see that the Visa Bulletin will be released early on in the month, which will allow people to have more time in order to plan for their visa interviews. So let's start with the employment-based category. This month, we continue to see the upward trend of EB1 category in terms of movement. We saw advancements in every category and chargeability area that isn't current except for the EB5 category for China. But as of this moment, both China and India are current for EB1, and EB1 is now current for all chargeability countries. Other changes to the final action dates include that for EB2, China moved forward by 49 days and India moved forward by 107 days. For the EB3 category, China moved forward by 46 days and India advanced by 2 whole months. In EB3, China also advanced by 1 month and India advanced by 2 months. In EB4, Mexico has moved forward 1 month and Central America moved forward by 2 months. And finally, changes in EB5 include Vietnam advancing by 55 days. Next are the changes to the family-based categories. In the F1 category, all countries have moved forward except for Mexico, which is still at March of 2000. Mainland China, India, and other countries have moved forward by 38 days, and the Philippines have moved forward 10 whole months. The only movement that we saw in the F3 and the F4 categories were for the Philippines, with F3s moving forward by nearly 4 months and the F4 category for the Philippines advancing by a full 7 months and 1 day. For changes in the final action dates, all F2As are current and there are advancements in other categories for China, India, Mexico, and the Philippines and all other countries. The most significant advancement was the F4 category for the Philippines, which moved forward by 38 days. Other F4 final action date advancements include Mexico by 7 days, India by 17 days, and China and the rest of the world by 10 whole days. The F2B final action date has moved forward by 17 days, except for Mexico, which is only advanced by 7 days. All F3 final action dates have moved forward by 7 days, except for Mexico, which moved forward by 16 days, and the Philippines, which moved forward by 24 days. The F1 final action dates moved up 14 days for Mexico and the Philippines, and 16 days for all other chargeability areas. And to learn more, please go ahead and click on the link in the description, which will take you directly to the April Visa Bulletin by the Department of State. Next, we have some important news. The Department of State has started a monthly YouTube live stream to be hosted by Charlie Oppenheimer, who is the chief of the Visa Control and Reporting Division, and he is the one who is actually responsible for moving around the numbers and publishing the Visa Bulletin every single month. They are calling this Chats with Charlie, and you will have an opportunity to go ahead and join the Department of State and Charlie on these monthly live streams to ask him questions that you may have regarding the Visa Bulletin. They had their first live stream last week, and they revealed something really important. They revealed that 2022 is expected to have the largest number of available visas ever. So let's hear what Charlie has to say.
The limits for 2022, based on the current INA guidelines, I expect the family annual limit to be at least 226,000 and the employment limit to be at least 275,000.
That is some great news, and I really hope that we're going to continue to see some more forward movement in all categories going forward. In addition, we have also heard more details about how the final action dates are determined and what influences the movements of these dates. This is probably the most frequently asked question that Charlie gets, so let's hear what he has to say.
I look at the overall annual limits for the individual preference categories and also the foreign states, and I try to give out an appropriate amount of numbers each month. How many numbers have already been used to date? How many numbers are remaining? How many numbers I think might be needed for emergency cases at overseas posts or information or cases that I have not received information on from USCIS. Then also in the information that I've received from our overseas post or the Immigration Service in terms of future expectations of their needs. Then I also factor in a certain amount in normal times. We give out blocks of numbers to our overseas posts. And then at the end of the month, those posts will return any unused numbers. So I have to factor in how many unused numbers may come back.
If you have a question about the Visa Bulletin and you would like for your question to get answered, you can actually go ahead and send them an email before their next live stream on YouTube with the subject line of Chat with Charlie question to the email address visabulletin@state.gov. I have also included a link in my description for the Department of State's Consular Affairs YouTube channel. So keep an eye out for their next live stream and maybe you'll get your question answered by them. To learn more about additional immigration changes, go ahead and watch this video to learn what we can expect during the Biden administration's upcoming immigration plans. Watch this video to learn what his proposed bill, the U.S. Citizenship Act of 2021, proposes to do for 11 million persons in the U.S. who have no permanent legal status. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe to my page. Thank you so much for watching and see you next time.